Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is Travis, and we've got a deck called the 5-Color Case. And this is a very obvious combination. Sometimes the populace that plays Magic the Gathering can find some interesting synergies that the designers hadn't intended. Other times, they just put it out there for us. Alright, the combo includes Leyline of the Guild Pact, and we have it in our opening hand, which we like. So we just hit submit and it goes straight onto the battlefield. Now, the color of our lands doesn't necessarily matter anymore, as long as we get enough of them. So the general rule, I have the least amount of blue in here. So if we have a chance to get blue and we're not worried about colors, we'll just go get the basic island. And that way, if they destroy the enchantment later, we still have a chance of getting our 5 colors. Manic Sentry gets rid of their creature. We'll see if having a creature with toughness 4 is enough to keep it alive and around. We need to keep going with the lands, so let's bring down Hellpack Piper. And we really just need 6 lands for everything to work. The Kamigor is the most expensive spell I have. No haste on that. And now we're just going to skip the turn because I want to trigger it tonight and get a Howler out of this. I kind of like the idea of another Sentry. They get to see it, but that's okay.
I'll wet my blades on your bones. Cowardice won't save you.
Alright. Make me attack. Let's get rid of the 4-2. It doesn't count as dying. We'll get the Shattered Pack down. This will give us our 6th land. And then we can start playing with Kamigor. And in the meantime, we might as well attack. Well, I guess that has to attack the player, right? So I can have this go after the Planeswalker, but that one has to attack the player based on what they compelled it to do.
My rage is molten.
Are they going to do something different this time? Dragonwing Glider. It's got haste. They're just going to make that go ahead and attack
There is
again.
no running.
That's actually fine for me because here we're going to use the Kamigor. We're going to exile this. We're going to make the Annex Sentry the one that must attack. We'll have that attack there. And you can designate me to attack all you want. I'm just going to give you more poison if you're going to make me attack with those things. Yet another. How about that? They've got a second equipment that allows for flying. It's not big enough to defeat the Annex Sentry. And they equipped the ground-based one. Interesting. Interesting choices here. Still making the attack with
Stand up and fight!
Let's go ahead and throw the token back up into their hand. And that means whatever they have left, they have to discard, which was a scrapbook cohort. We'll bring down Joda. And yet again, we're attacking with what we must, and 2 more poison taps. And you know what? We can still activate this and bring down Gwen at the same time. We don't activate the Cascade from Joda because we just brought it down with the werewolf instead of summoning it. That's okay. And whatever you got, it's not enough. Still making
The fight is inevitable.
But they didn't attack. That's bad news for them. We'll try Invasion of Alara. What do we get? Good stuff? Ooh, Annex Entry. I like it. Let's get rid of the 5-2. Case of the Shattered Pact. Get another land. I should have probably... No, it doesn't matter because my lands are all 5 colors. Didn't need to be a plane specifically. And finally I have a legendary that triggers Joda, but it's a 1, so I don't have any 0-cost spells in the deck. Okay, next we go to combat. We make Joda fly, and he was going to have double strike and flight, so that was game. Game, set, and match. That's a good start. Alright, let's go in and show you the full deck. It's called the 5-color case. It's based on some MKM cards. Murder at Karlov Manor, the latest expansion that's out. And I don't know which card came first, the case or the ley line. There's only one ley line. I suspect the cases came first. It would be nice to get confirmation at some point. So, but there's definite 5-color phrasing for both of these cards. So I suspect that one inspired the other. When they were creating the second card, they created it with that first card already existing. And you've probably already seen a number of things. If you watch YouTube and Twitch for your Magic the Gathering Fair, you've probably already seen the combo, right? You get Leyline of the Guild Pact out. Each non-land permanent you control is all colors, and all the lands you control are every basic land type. And then here for the case, this helps you actually get to the 5 lands by fetching a basic land at the beginning. And to solve the case, you need to have 5 colors among permanents you control. So if you have the ley line out that starts in your hand and you submit it on the field, this is going to solve as soon as you put it out. And I'm sure there are tons of much more efficient decks that have this combo in it that you may have already seen, but I guarantee you, you haven't seen this deck build before. Because what I did was I decided to focus on Case of the Shattered Pact and solving it. So I need to have 5 colors among permanents you control. And what that means is it gives me another excuse to play with my 5-color cards, which I never seem to have enough reason to do. You know, I have made a ton of Joda decks. But, so we have 3 copies of Invasion of Alara, and as it turns out, not only does the battle itself have 5 colors, but when it changes to the sorcery, Awaken the Maelstrom happens to be all colors as well. I don't think that necessarily helps us with the case, I just think it's amusing. The comic, where I have 2 copies of that, we can exile the target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Then, as you saw what I like to do for Chapter 2, I return a token up to their hand. The token disappears and it makes them discard a card. And then for Chapter 3, we get the Dragon Spirit. And as it says here, Okagachi Made Manifest is all colors as well. So if we didn't have something before that solved it, just having the Spirit out would solve it if we put it out another copy. And so that gives us not just the leyline chances to solve the Shattered Pact, but we've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 chances to solve for 5 colors for a Case of the Shattered Pact. So if we get this out, this is probably in the course of the match, it's going to get solved. and we're not relying on 3 or 4 copies of Leyline alone to do it. I started this with only 2 copies of Leyline, and went ahead and got a 3rd one when I was making the deck, and so I threw it in there. What else do we have? I didn't have a whole lot of legends, but I have a Joda Shell, which is 4 copies of one legendary creature, Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, because you can spend 2 mana in any combination of colors to summon creatures, so you get this out on 3. That gives you Joda on turn 4, a turn early. Or if you don't have 5 colors, if you're getting land starved, but you do get up to 4, you can bring down Halpak Piper, and then the next turn you can spend 2 mana, just tap and bring Joda straight down from your hand onto the field using the Halpak Piper's ability. That's my normal Joda Shell. And I did burn 1 Mythic Rare wild card because in all this time I've never gotten a Shanna Purifying Blade. So I got tired of waiting. I want to play with this card. At the beginning of every end step, you can pay X. If you do draw X cards, X can't be greater than the amount of life you gain this turn. I want to pair this up with Case of the Shattered Pact, give her flying, double strike, and vigilance, and that way we can hit for maybe 6 points of damage and draw 6 cards if we need to, if we have enough energy left over. I've got 1 copy of Skrelv Defector Might, so we can use this to give another target hexproof and save, maybe keep Joda or keep Shanna on the field. I have 1 copy of Destroy Evil. This wasn't originally in my deck. This was, I added this because as soon as I made this deck, Arena put me up against Elish Norn, the Elish Norn copy that stops your entry into battle effects. And most of everything that I have is based on entry into the battlefield. So I've gone a long time without facing Elish Norn, and then within 4 matches I had already faced Elish Norn twice. So I'm like, okay, Arena, Elish Norn is my kryptonite. I will put this card in to deal with Elish Norn if Elish Norn shows up. And she has since shown up quite a bit versus this deck specifically. For Graveyard Hate, Lion Sash, you can exile target card from a graveyard. If it's permanent, you can plus up Lion Sash, and you can actually reconfigure this, put it on another creature too, and make it even bigger. For Annex Sentry, it's got Toxic, so we introduced Toxic along with the Skrelv. So we don't expect to win by Toxic, but you can. But it exiles creatures and opponent controls with mana value 3 or less, so if they're trying to swarm us, hopefully this will fend them off for a while. 1 copy of Cloudsteer Kieran, 3/2 with flying. When you reconfigure it, the creature has flying. You can't lose the game. Your opponents can't win the game. I have 4 board wipes to help me out. I've got 1 to populate, a 1 by invitation only, a dial a number that you sacrifice, expel the interlopers, dial the power that you want to kill, and vanquish the horde for a whole bunch of them. So 4 different white board wipes, and if I have 1 or more in my hand, it gives me a lot of variation. It gives me a lot of options on how I want to clear the board at any one point in time. For the lands, you can see I've got Naganjo, I've got 1 Besieger who endures. It can sometimes come in clutch. We've got 1 each of the Streets of New Capenna Tri-lands, and 4 copies of the 1 copy each of 4 of the Sack lands from Streets of New Capenna, all based on getting our 5 different color lands out, just in case they have a way to destroy the ley lines and we're back on reduced to just regular lands. So that's the deck. The ley lines case combo, I've already seen like at least 3 different YouTube thumbnails. And I took a look and immediately scrubbed my brain to forget what the deck list was composed of. It was a good deck. It was probably better than this one. But my brain works in certain ways. It works differently than most people. So this is what my brain came up with. Not the greatest start, but not the worst if we get... Oh, look! Is it a mirror match already? I don't really have much ways to get rid of enchantments and artifacts in my deck. Alright, let's see if Gwenna stays on the field for a turn. Sweet. If this is going to be an Atraxa deck, I'm going to be irritated. Okay, I think we just bring down Joda. Go ahead and bring this down. Go get an island. The island is... I have the fewest blue spells, I think, so blue is the least represented color. So if we think we're good with colors, we always go get an island as soon as we get a chance. Shieldred. Okay. Shieldred can be tough. Not really what I wanted. I hate missing a land drop like that. They got 8 lands now from the ramp. Means they can bring down Virtuous Strength if they want to. Looks more and more like an Atraxa deck more than anything else. That is a 3-mana card, right? That gives me 5 colors. And I'm nowhere near the 8 cards in my graveyard they need to transform that. Oh no. They're doing that kind of deck. This deck can be a little bit troublesome just because not only does it ramp quite nicely, but it takes them so long to make their turn. It's really boring really fast. Oh no. Huh. We could do case. I feel like I want to try this and see if we can get something good. Those are not the things that I wanted. Let's go ahead and attack here. They're gonna chump block. Wow. They didn't want us to get all these different things that we can do with Awakening the Maelstrom. They can bring down both of those. And then cast pretty much any spell they want at any point in time. Ah. Just bring back Shield. Okay. Let's give him the Piper. Jace. Interesting choices.
Kapashk! Imasahak! Surrender every last thought to Phyrexia.
Okay, they used Jace to trigger Shieldred. There goes my Joda. These are not the things that I'm wanting. there's much more for me to do here. We'll attack Jace once.
This won't affect our greater plans.
Okay, I have to discard 3 cards. I could use a Kami War right about now. That's 2 of the Aftermath Analysts, so hopefully they don't find a way to bring those back, so we only have 2 more to worry about in the entire deck. But they've gone through about half their deck already. And they've got most of their lands out already. Which means almost everything that they draw after this is going to be a legitimate spell. I like the way they use Jace to make it legitimate for them to activate Sheoldred's Enchantment Saga. I really need a way to remove that, because they can just rinse and repeat that. That's the real danger to me. Deadly Cover. Yeah, I think that's game. I think they got me. I got so much ramp, all I got was 6 lands out of the whole thing. What did they get rid of? Halpack Piper? And then I'll get rid of 3 Halpack Pipers. So half of my deck's gone too, with everything that they've already managed to mill. Looks like all my Jodas are gone, a couple of my board wipes are gone. I don't even have a creature I can stick Still Curing on to keep me alive. Do they really need anything else? They've got a creature, they've got a planeswalker, they got a Phyrexian, and all I did was get a land. That is disgusting. That I'm going to lose automatically when Sheoldred comes into play. But then they're just going to reactivate Sheoldred. I mean, I can wait for... They don't have haste, right? So I could wait and see if I get one of my last board wipes just to do a top deck. They'll probably activate Sheoldred again. Since Joda's legendary, they had to choose one of the 3 to keep. And they could only keep one Gwenna. Topiary can come over here and hit the Zendikar if they want.
Organic minds are easily quelled.
And we're still just sort of waiting. I don't have enough mana to reconfigure this and bring it down. Even if I already had another creature. So yeah, that had to be a board wipe and I didn't get it. So Leylines was just a way for them to be able to cast everything. I didn't even see them have a case in there anywhere. Not quite the mirror match I was thinking of. As we go again, remind you, like and subscribe. Share a playlist with a friend. Leave a comment. All of these things are good for the channel. At least that's what they tell me. I think this actually looks like a better start. Okay, Forest Plains are island. Okay, we'll go get our island now. If I'd known Joda was there, I might have just done something different, because then I could have went into Joda. Okay, 2 or fewer, that counts. What do we go get next? Mountain or swamp? Let's do a swamp. They're acting like they have something to destroy the enchantment. They've already got a land there I need to worry about. Swamp it is. Gwenna to the rescue! This can sometimes fit in good in a Joda deck. I wonder if Magic's going to find me that kind of mirror match. They've got 3 colors already. Our opponent has blue, so they're going to take a little extra time in thinking of moves. So if there's a big pause every time that I do something, because they got to think about things. Undergrowth Recon. Oh, you know what? We'll just bring down the ley line. We'll activate the case. Once it's activated, even if they destroy the guild pact, it doesn't matter anymore. The case will stay solved. Ooh, I think I like that. Can I afford to wait and bring down the Piper for a turn? I don't need to wait, I can just bring it down with Gwen at the same time. Ah, they're protecting it. Okay. Okay, fine. They're reading all my cards. They can plus up the other creatures if they want, but I could double block their land creature if they don't have a way to remove me. Let's just exile that. Probably should have given double strike to the one with poison just to make him really nervous. We didn't create a spell, so I get to do this. This is fun. Okay, we return you up to your hand, and you have to discard a card. If it's a land, I'm doing them a favor, right? Because of Undergrowth Recon. We don't have much in there. Okay, they throw away the thing we wanted them to. I think we just bring down Joda. Janet to do it. We can also bring down the Lion Sash. And I think we just double... Let's do this. It's less damage, but it's twice as much poison. Just so there's a couple of different ways we could kill them, perhaps. They've hit us enough overhead. We're actually equal life right now. We're seeing Virtue of Strength a lot more recently, aren't we? Still just kind of safekeeping. And they don't hang around. They didn't know we got our second cameo ore. That would have been pretty devastating. If they were another Aftermath Analyst deck, they needed a lot more time to get set up. Let's do one more. Originally thought this was going to be kind of a meme deck, but it performs okay. Oh, maybe we get to play with Shanna finally. Alright, let's see. Plains Island Swamp. Plains Island Forest. I still have a way to get the island, so let me get the plains first. That's excellent. We can use this to go get the swamp. And we can use this to go get the island. War Leader's Call. Okay. Well, they might have removal, but let's see what we can do here. This is mostly based around summoning creatures, but they've got to have some removal. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's see what Invasion of Alara gets us. We don't need Leyline anymore technically because we've got Invasion of Alara out. I need a Kami War just to exile the enchantment just to free up Shanna. Double Strike, Flying, and Vigilance doesn't really help Skrelv all that much. They're ready for it anyway. Ooh, there's a Kami War. That works out nicely. We exile you. We give Shanna the case. Double strike with, like, actually, should I go for that? I think we go for that first. I don't have any spare mana to pay for drawing cards. As long as one of those two cards is not removal, I'm sitting pretty. Blah, 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 blah. Daunting card. Oh, hang on. Oh, they don't even wait for it. It took too long. I'm sorry. They didn't like what was going to happen. I was going to get rid of the bat, throw it back up there. They'd have to discard a card. That would let me double strike with Shanna to their face for 6 points of damage. And then I technically could have drawn 6 more cards if I wanted to. I don't know that I would have drawn 6, but maybe I would have. That was kind of quick. Let me do one more. Just because we're having fun. This is the longest I have gone in a row without coming up against an Elish Norn. Let's press our luck. Okay, I have the Shattered Case, I have an answer for Elish Norn, and I have 2 ways to ramp to get the land that I need. That pretty much means that whatever other cards that I get should be good besides the land, right? Yeah, see? Okay. So we have the island there. We technically have all 3 colors mentioned already. I do need to get double white. Okay, since colors don't matter quite as much anymore, we'll go get the blue. And we've got spares, so we bring down Skrell. That should be easy for them to destroy. They probably want to get rid of that as soon as they can. No way! Seriously? Well, maybe they got land starved? I don't know. Maybe they're just afraid of Skrelv. Okay, that was a lot of wins. Normally I like to end the video on a win, but they went by so quickly. Even if we lose, I think I feel like I need to do one more. I am open to feedback. I don't know. I'm always sort of guessing if my videos are long enough, if they're too long, if they're too short. So I am open to feedback from your comments. Some people like to watch the deck tech only. Some people skip the deck tech and just watch the gameplay. Some people like to watch the entire thing all the way through. So I leave it in your hands to tell me, is this just right? Have we gotten to the Goldilocks of the number of games that we play? This kind of reminds me of the never-ending story. Not the best start. We're back to getting all the specialty lands up front. It's kind of easy in this deck, right? Because I've got a lot of specialty lands, non-basic lands. But I didn't really want both of those. Those are kind of useful. Do I want to draw an additional card? I do not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got the white and green. Yeah, let me take the blue. They probably have a counter spell. Let me try Lion Sash. They let that go. This spell can't be countered, so I don't care if they have counter spells. Yay! Are they going to draw an additional card? They could have pumped that up by drawing an additional card. They didn't, so they want to cast something on their turn? It's usually the opposite of what you want to do with the Lore Master. And they don't actually do anything, which gives me Shanna. Let's try Leyline. They should have counterspells ready. That's the whole point of Lore Master, is to draw a bunch of cards so that you always have a counterspell in your hand. Okay, Syncopate works. Let's go ahead and attack with the Wild Song Howler. See if they want to chump block. If they don't, they take it. And they draw the card. We shall go get our mountain. We can bring this down. This also can't be countered. I like the Annex Sentry. I don't like how they could draw another card. Let's see, draw your second card each turn. We'll try it. They might have a draw 3 they could use. So this is a risk. Okay, they didn't have anything. There's an extra draw, and there's a 4/5. They keep, because they get the extra draw, right? They've got plenty of land, more than we do. They've got a full hand of cards and probably a full hand of counterspells. And we always want to do something, don't we? They let me take the Fairy Vandal? Oh man. Does that still... It's on the stack, right? No, it doesn't take it. Shoot. Alright. I guess we just exile this for the heck of it. I did that wrong. I should put down Besieges so I had a chance to cast a second spell. Really? Just another Shieldred, huh? Alright. How many white sources do I have? Not enough. Come on, play a counterspell. Thank you. Vanquish the Horde. If they have an unsummon, I'm in trouble. Yep, they have a Fading Hope. Shoot, of course they do. The one thing I was hoping they wouldn't have. They have so much energy now they can just bring down everything. And they still have 2 open for... Well, we'll try this. Decline. I need to cast this. They don't have... Okay, so maybe... Or they're letting that go because they're going to counterspell the next thing. Annex Sentry. Are they saying good game because they've got a way to kill me next turn already? Okay, they've got removal. I've solved the case of the Shattered Pact. They can afford to draw twice. They're looking at my stuff like they have ways to destroy it already. Land's not good enough to help me. Yet again. Okay, so we try Annex Sentry. One of those gets through. I think we need Shanna down next. Now, if they don't have removal, I can hit with Shanna. It'll at least give me some life gain.
Hope you're ready for some mind games.
They've had 2 different types of removal. What are the odds? Yeah, we're gonna let that through. Figure they'll draw a card.
Now this is a juicy secret.
They can just keep drawing. They've got a couple extra waterfront districts. Play yet another land. Alright. Let's try this. Gotta go digging. Lots of life they got. Ah, it's not what I wanted. I mean, I can go ahead and bring this down too. And we'll go get one of these, I guess. And we go after one of these. Now, do I bother to draw a card? Yeah, we're going to draw some cards. We destroy you. Choose a permanent I control. How about that one? And, oh, that was dumb because it's legendary, right? Yeah, I should have chosen something else. No, they scoop anyway? No way! I'm surprised that they wouldn't... I mean, they had so much energy, they could have drawn yet another card. They had to have had extra copies of Infernal Grasp and Hero's Downfall, right? They got me down to 3, they're above 20 still, and they just leave. Alright. I'm kind of surprised. I guess we were too tough. They felt satisfied that they left me at 3 life. That was good enough for them. They didn't need the win anyway, right? Alright, the deck performed much better than I thought. But again, that's because we didn't have to face Elish Norn. They stick a Mythic Rare Praetor in there like Shieldred, and that can get you. Who's that I got there? Taken by Nightmares. Ooh, I have 4 copies now. Sweet. I'm going to have to start including that in some deck construction soon. Alright, so that's the deck. Glad that Shanna came up a couple times. Really came in. I may have to burn some more wild cards just to play around with her some more. That's pretty cool. And I do like this combination. Leyline of the Guild Pact and Case of the Shattered Pact. And I like the way that I did this. We kind of handicapped ourselves in a sense because, except for Gaia and Skrelv, which Skrelv doesn't help you with Joda's power, we didn't really have anything in terms of a legendary framework in order to help us cascade extra stuff with Joda. But that wasn't the point. The point was to focus on Case of the Shattered Pact and build a deck around the case. And having all of these different 5-color spells, and especially if you can get a Shanna down with a good attack or two, or even just Joda by himself with a good attack or two. You could also think about, what's got me thinking about another way to do this, is to make a poison-centric deck and still do a Leyline Case kind of shell, and just see what you can do with poison as well. So that could be something I'll toy around with in the future. But as always, we invite you to like and subscribe. Leave a comment towards deck construction that you might want to see. And I'll have something different for you next time anyway. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.